SharePro back office software is a fast evolving system, so the screens that you see in this video may not be what you see on your desktop. In this video, at times you will notice that the demonstration speeds vary. Please feel free to pause, rewind or fast forward as we go on. When you want to stop, note the time so you can resume from that point onwards.
As you can see right now, I have already logged into SharePro, and right now I'm logged into the NSE segment. As you can see on top, I'm logged into a settlement number called 2009-169 normal, which falls on a Wednesday and which is on 9th of September 2009 and whose payout is on 11th September 2009. Now the title bar and also this whole area on the left shows us that currently we are logged into a particular segment and a particular settlement. Now if I was to log out from SharePro now and log back in again, I would be automatically logged into the same segment and the same settlement. Now what is the meaning of this default settlement? As you can see, this basically means that right now if I look at reports, I'll get the reports for this segment by default. For example, suppose I was to look at the trade register. The trade register that will come before me is for the current settlement, that is 2009-169 normal by default. If I was to make the delivery payouts from the software, we'll be making the payouts for the settlement 2009-169 normal by default. Okay, this does not mean that the reporting that you see in SharePro is restricted to this settlement alone at this point of time. No, this only means the default settlement is this. Now, as you already know, SharePro is an integrated multi-segment system. So how do I switch from NSE to say BSE? It's like this. I go to the setup menu and go to company setup. Now, to the right of each menu item, you will see a hotkey as explained here, Control X. I could also press Control X and go to company setup. So I go to company setup. Now this combo on top gives me a list of all the segments to which I have access, or the segments which you have purchased from StanSoft. For example, right now you have the NSE segment CM, the NSE derivative segment, the NCDES segment, the MCX segment, the CDSL depository, etc. Currency and so forth, and even PMS. Alright, so these are all different segments. I could simply select a segment and switch to that segment. For example, I could switch to the NSE's derivative segment by selecting derivative segments and pressing escape. Or I could switch to say the CDSL depository segment from here. Now since there is no concept of settlements, it shows me simply depository participant system. I press escape and now I've logged myself into the CDSL depository system. As you can see, the entire set of menus have completely changed for me. Now whatever I see is pertaining to the CDSL depositories. Now the first question that must have come to your mind is, does that mean that every user of SharePro can log into any settlement or any segment of his choice? The answer is no. Because where a user has access is defined separately, which we'll cover in another video which talks of security in SharePro. However, the user that I have logged into, that is the manager of the system that you can see here, has access to virtually every segment and every settlement of the system. Okay, so right now let's say we are in NSE. Now, what should I do to switch to the next settlement? For example, I would like to go to settlement number 2009-170 normal. I could do it by going to the company setup and selecting 2009-170 normal, pressing enter and pressing escape, and I would switch to that settlement. Or I could also, as you can see from here, by pressing Control up arrow or by pressing Control down arrow, I could switch settlements in serial order. Let's say I press Control up arrow, so now I move to settlement number 171 normal. I press Control down arrow, I move to settlement 170, and I press again down arrow, I move to settlement number 169. This way I can move between settlements and segments. Okay, now what you see on top is the toolbar, which will have a list of options or buttons, which would basically run the most frequently run options by me. For example, I could click here and straight away move to trade register report, or I could come here and see the graph in the system, right, and so forth.
If you notice here, Below the settlement, you'll find the financial year 2010-2011. Sometimes you would like to see the data of the previous year. In order to do that, I would press Ctrl X to bring up the company setup. And here, I click on this financial year and select 2009-2010 and press Escape. You will see now that I'm in the year 2009-2010. You can move around the same way you moved around in 2010-11. Control page down to change company. Control up to go to the next settlement. And control down to go to the previous settlement.